Welcome, everyone, and welcome to those of you who are joining us via webcast from around the world. Thank you for joining us here at the United Nations headquarters for a very special event. We're launching a campaign to promote gender equality with the most iconic female comic superhero of all time, Wonder Woman. We're so pleased to have in the room with us, yes, a big round of applause. Yeah. UN staff and their family members, young women, young men, the Girl Scouts of New York, and some very other special guests. The 193 members of the United Nations have all agreed that we have to achieve 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. They include ending poverty and hunger, reducing inequality, improving health, and taking better help of our planet, which is the only one we have, and so many more. Goal number 5 is about achieving gender equality by 2030. We have 14 years to go, and we don't have any time to waste. We have to do this now. Yeah. Say hi. We need to stand up for the empowerment of women and girls, and we need to stand with Wonder Woman, who represents so much of what we're trying to achieve. Yeah. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Undersecretary General for Communications and Public Information, Ms. Christina Galik.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody here and those that are following us around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my true pleasure to be here representing the Secretary General of the United Nations to launch this campaign with Wonder Woman. I would like to thank Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment for their support, and I also want to thank the actresses Lynda Carter and Gal Gadot for joining for this special event. And let me also acknowledge the UN partners and the United Nations Foundation for the support for the campaign. While we have achieved progress toward gender equality in many parts of the world, women and girls continue to suffer from discrimination and violence. Many girls are still denied access to schooling. Equal pay remains an elusive dream for numerous women. Gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, it is a foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. That is why it is goal number 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals. Moreover, the achievement of every single Sustainable Development Goals is totally dependent on gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. And it is why the United Nations is working with partners on multiple fronts around the world to end gender-based violence, discrimination, and to empower women and girls. And it is also why we are working with new and unconventional partners and forming creative alliances so that we can reach the widest possible global audience. We inform them about the goals and the critical importance of gender equality. You know some very important campaigns already underway. He for She, Unite to End Gender Violence and Violence Against Women, Planet 50/50 by 2030. I don't need to tell you that Wonder Woman is an icon. Since her birth 75 years ago today, she has been known for her commitment to justice, peace, and equality. And we are very pleased that this character will help us reach new audiences with essential messages about empowerment and equality. Under the theme, Think All the Wonders You Can Do, this campaign will highlight what we can collectively achieve if women and girls are empowered. It will illustrate what all of us can do to stand and fight in our communities, our workplaces, our schools, our colleges, and among our families, friends, peers, for gender equality. We are delighted that Wonder Woman is our newest recruit to the cause of gender equality and empowerment of women and girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Undersecretary General Gadot. I'm now pleased to introduce the President of DC Entertainment, Ms. Diane Nelson.
Good afternoon. This is the most fun the UN has ever had, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah? Thank you, Undersecretary Gadot. It's an honor to be here today. I want to thank all of our distinguished guests, the UN staff and families, our colleagues, and Wonder Woman fans. Clearly, we have a lot of them. And a special thanks again to Lynda Carter, Gal Gadot, and Patty Jenkins, the director of our upcoming Wonder Woman movie. Each of them exemplify Wonder Woman in very unique ways for us, and it's very meaningful and powerful. For too long and too often, the comic, film, and television industries have portrayed women as damsels in distress. But thanks in large part to Dr. William Moulton Marsden, who in the early 1940s created Wonder Woman, the greatest female superhero to date, this is becoming less often the case. Dr. Marsden wrote, "Not even girls want to be girls, so long as our feminine archetype lacks force, strength, and power." Clearly, creating a new archetype is still a work in progress, but every day we see signs that that's changing. In fact, just a couple of years ago, in DC's very own comic, Injustice, Gods Among Us, readers looked into a future where Wonder Woman had become the Secretary General of the UN and Lois Lane was President of the United States. Yes, how about that? Thank goodness Dr. Marsden gave us Wonder Woman. He knew that for Wonder Woman to be accepted into the male-dominated world of superheroes, she had to be a different kind of hero. Wonder Woman needed to embrace love over violence and value peace over war. She had to stand up for peace, justice, and equality for all people. Wonder Woman is already, in her mythology, an ambassador. She's an ambassador from the Amazons to man's world, with the goal of uniting men and women, bringing peace and equality to everyone. But what makes Wonder Woman empowering isn't that she represents, look what girls can do. It's that she represents, look what girls already do. If this man's world has missed that, women aren't going to apologize. They're going to just keep running companies, running countries, and changing the very boundaries of the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Gender equality is a timely topic and very much alive in today's zeitgeist. The fair and equal treatment of women and girls is necessary, it's essential, it's what's right, and it's a human right. No longer are women and girls to be marginalized, sidelined, humiliated, and kept away from sources of power and freedom. There's a revolution already underway, and it needs engagement and action from women and girls, and men and boys. The tough conversations we're facing about assault and objectification, just like tough conversations about race and policing, will, I think, ultimately take us to a better place. However, there are girls all over the world who don't get to dream about what they want to be when they grow up. Inequalities faced by girls can begin right at birth and follow them all their lives. In some countries, girls are deprived of access to health care and proper nutrition. They're married at young ages and don't have equal access to education. Imagine what a figure like Wonder Woman means to them. Imagine how she looks through their eyes. Someone who takes no nonsense from any man, including Superman. We're thrilled that the United Nations has turned to Wonder Woman as an honorary ambassador of empowerment for women and girls everywhere. We believe that in addition to the exemplary work that amazing real women are doing in the fight for gender equality, it's to be commended that the UN understands that stories, even comic book stories and their characters, can inspire, teach, and reveal injustices. Stories, whether through scripture, legend, or comic book, can educate and encourage. They can light a fire in our soul and guide us toward good. Wonder Woman has long been celebrated as an icon of empowerment and is one of the most unique and compelling characters in storytelling. As an honorary ambassador for the empowerment of women and girls, Wonder Woman will have the strength and backing of Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment's resources to raise global awareness of Sustainable Development Goal number 5. Sustainable Development Goals are a powerful initiative through the United Nations where countries have agreed to end poverty, end hunger, and end gender inequality by the year 2030. In her role as an honorary ambassador, Wonder Woman will raise awareness of the obstacles women face and help achieve goal number 5, which is gender equality. When women are empowered to live up to their full potential, we will be able to achieve peace and true prosperity for everyone. The campaign begins today. It's the actual date of Wonder Woman's 75th anniversary, which was serendipitous, by the way, not planned. And I'm pleased to announce that one of the first initiatives among many over the course of the next year will be leveraging the power and appeal of comic books to launch this effort. DC is developing a Wonder Woman comic book that tells a story of empowerment, peace, justice, and equality. In 2017, for the first time in our history, this comic book will be available around the world in multiple languages simultaneously. We're also making the iconic Wonder Woman character available to UN agencies. They'll be able to leverage the commanding visual image of this beloved superhero and all she stands for into outstanding programs that reach girls where they live, play, and learn. The UN agencies are doing spectacular work on the ground and with girls around the globe. They can now add Wonder Woman to their arsenal in the fight for gender equality. I want to thank the United Nations for recognizing Wonder Woman with this honor. We are committed to sharing her with the world to continue to change the conversation and the reality for women and girls everywhere. Just think of all the wonders we can do together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Diane Nelson, for that message of empowerment and equality. And now please join me with a big round of applause for the actor who brought Wonder Woman to life and showed that we are all Wonder Women. Please welcome Lynda Carter.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here with you at the United Nations to celebrate Wonder Woman being named Honorary Ambassador for the empowerment of women and girls. As you know, I have some familiarity with Wonder Woman, and I couldn't think of a more perfect role for her. Let me expand just a little bit on what Diane said. It was the height of World War II. The world was at war when William Moulton Marston, a psychologist, was asked to come up with a new superhero for the fight against the Nazis. When he returned home that evening, his wife, Elizabeth, told him, honey, yeah, that's a good idea. We can do that together. but this one is going to be a woman superhero. And then according to their granddaughter, Christy Marston, the idea of Wonder Woman was born. I spoke to her the other day, and she said, oh yeah, for Graham, it was all about intellect and attitude. You see, women really know who they are. We can be smart and beautiful and strong and wise and kind and brave. We believe in fair play and fair pay and playing by the rules. We build families and communities, and yes, we stand by our men as they stand beside us. And now, today, we call on all these good men of the world to work with us and help us achieve the freedoms that all women and girls worldwide so richly deserve. They deserve it every day. These obstacles which deny them equal treatment, they must be torn down. It is one of the great moral imperatives of our time to liberate our minds so that together we can embrace the rich curiosity that can be conceived and explored and learned. More than 40 years ago, I had the honor of being cast more than 40 years ago. More than 40 years ago. I was cast as Wonder Woman by Warner Brothers. This was a monumentous thing, for at the time there were very few women holding their own shows in television. They didn't think a woman could hold a television show. We started getting letters and phone calls. I started hearing stories. This miracle of an idea that came from a 48-year-old woman named Elizabeth started to have an influence in some girls' and women's lives. That was when Wonder Woman became flesh. I tell you, I tell the people of the world, that was when Wonder Woman became flesh. This idea became a reality. The she became we. In some magical and mystical way, there lies within each of us Wonder Woman. She is real. She lives and she breathes. I know this because she lives in me, and she lives in the stories that these women tell me. Day in and day out, I see it in the eyes that dance before me. I see it in the letters and in the stories. I read it on social media. I see it in the tears that fall from the eyes of the women who say it saved them from it inspired them from some awful thing that they endured, because they saw that they could do something great. So Wonder Woman lives, do not doubt it. She lives in every woman. Wonder Woman helps bring out the inner strength every woman has. We are all inclusive. That is who women are. We are stronger together. We are half the world. We have a voice. We are the mothers of all mankind. We are the mothers of all mankind. We come in all shapes and sizes. We are mothers and sisters and daughters and grandmothers and great-grandmothers. We are black and brown and white and red and yellow. We are tall and short and thick and thin. We are blondes and brunettes and gingers and salt and peppers. Wonder Woman is being asked to take on a new role as the United Nations Ambassador to empower girls and women around the world. So please embrace her. All the doubters that don't think it's a good idea, stand up and be counted. We need the good men of the world. We love you. We bore you. Don't forget it. Let us salute the United Nations and the Sustainable Development Goals it has announced. I do. I salute you. Let us be able to look back on 2017 as the year we made a huge progress. Huge. Huge. I mean, very, very huge. Toward women's equality. I always think I'm so funny. As we follow the example of Wonder Woman as our ambassador for empowerment of women. My grandmother was an immigrant, by the way. She was born in Mexico. We are all immigrants in this nation. I really like immigrants. All you women of all colors, all you children out there, never forget Wonder Woman lives inside you. You can be anything. I see these beautiful faces. Learn, know, be everything that you dream. Because unless you dream it, it can't be done. You got to dream it first. I promise you, you will be on the right path, and take it from me, that Wonder Woman inside of you will never let you down. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynda Carter, for that message of power and strength and solidarity for everyone to come together to achieve women's equality. And now I'd like to invite the picture of power and strength and the evolution in Wonder Woman to the stage. The star of the upcoming Wonder Woman film, Ms. Gal Gadot.
What an inspiration, right? Lynda, I think you should be the president of the United States with these values, honestly. This is what it's all about. I don't have much more to add. I think that Lynda and Diane and the secretary, they all said what I feel, but I still wrote a little thing, so I'm gonna read it for you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It is an incredible honor to be here today. Wonder Woman seeks to promote strength, wisdom, leadership, justice, and love. Qualities that combined make us the very best that we can be. Her mission is simple, but as many people know from all around the world, it isn't always so. Sometimes we need something or someone to aspire to. to help inform our choices and set an example. That example can be a superhero like Wonder Woman or a real-life superhero in your own world. She can inspire us to be more, to demand more, and to do more. And that's inspiration for everyone. This honor and the initiative we are here to celebrate today, think of all the wonders we can do, moves us one step closer to that goal by setting a good example for girls as much as boys through education and empowering them on a massively global scale. Wonder Woman is a fighter, better than most, but it's what she fights for that is important. It's her vision of a future of peace and acceptance that makes her the right ambassador for everyone. I'm proud and honored to play this character in the film and to have a small role in today's ceremony. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Gadot. And I would now like to invite the Undersecretary General and Diane Nelson to the podium for the official designation of Wonder Woman as an honorary ambassador.
It is now my pleasure to designate Wonder Woman as the honorary ambassador of the United Nations for the empowerment of women and girls. And I ask Ms. Diane Nelson of DC Entertainment to accept this designation on her behalf.
Thanks so much for coming today, and please, one last round of applause to welcome Wonder Woman to the United Nations family as an honorary ambassador for the empowerment of women and girls. That concludes our program. Thank you so much, and please spread the word through social media that the empowerment of women and girls has to happen now. Thank you.